Man, liberal media is just having a field day with these viral recent leaks from Vice President JD Vance. It's too bad one was 100% fake and the other one really wasn't even that big of a deal. Yeah, there were two viral leaks that had JD Vance's name attached to them. Now, first was an alleged audio leak in which the vice president supposedly expressed frustration with Department of Government efficiency head Elon Musk. Now, I'm going to share the clip with you guys a little bit later, but basically the AI Vance says if Elon Musk wants to tank the economy and his cars, maybe that's what he deserves. But again, guys, JD Vance, he denies its validity and confirms it was a fake AI generated clip. He even said that he would go after the people that are behind this for defamation. Remember what Elon Musk said, guys. He's had enough. Lawsuit inbound. It's as simple as that. But really, guys, the lengths that these people will go to just to kind of try and diminish the vice president by the tiniest little bit, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean, guys? Then, of course, there's the highly controversial text leak. The Atlantic magazine's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, was included on a message chain in which top Trump administration officials, including Vice President JD Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, discussed recent strikes against the Houthi terror group in Yemen. Liberal media is calling this a stunning breach of national security. But National Security Council spokesman Brian Hughes assures the people that they are reviewing how an inadvertent number was actually added to the chain. And President Trump, it's not even on his radar, telling reporters that they're telling him about this for the first time. So we're going to get into all the details a little bit later on. But first, really, I looked at the exchange myself, and I agree with Hughes when he said that the thread is a demonstration of the deep and thoughtful policy coordination between senior officials. Plus, that the ongoing success of the Houthi operation demonstrates that there were no threats to troops or national security. Now, something to consider. The guy that wrote the story, Jeffrey Goldberg, he's famous for running the already debunked 2020 article accusing Trump of disparaging U.S. troops buried in France as suckers and losers. Plus, he didn't even have the decency to correct it after it was debunked. Now, seriously, anything to sell a newspaper for this guy. By the way, if you guys appreciate the daily news updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, speaking of people making a storm in a teacup, there's also Second Lady Usha Vance's upcoming flight to Greenland. Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, sure, President Trump wants to buy Greenland, but the Second Lady made it very clear. She's traveling to Greenland with her son and a United States delegation to visit historic sites, to learn about Greenlandic heritage, and to attend the Avanada Komisaru, Greenland's national dog sled race. Okay. But nope, Greenland's Prime Minister Mute Edge is calling it a dangerous and very aggressive provocation. So what's up with that? I mean, we definitely need to lower the temperature with these stories, guys. And this is exactly what we're going to do in today's video. So stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. Okay. All right. First, let's talk about this viral audio clip of Vice President JD Vance unloading on Elon Musk. Now, it's obviously fake, but just take a listen.
The thing that he's doing is getting criticized in the media. And he says that he's helping, and he's not. He's making us look bad. He's making me look bad. And I'll tell you this, and he wouldn't like it if I said it, but he's not even immigrant. He is from South Africa, and he's cosplaying as this great American leader in a room that has the portraits of some of the greatest men that ever led this country, and he has the audacity to act like he is an elected official. I am an elected official. I am the important one in this situation, not him. So if he wants to tank the economy and his cars, maybe that's what he deserves.
So seriously, who would believe this considering how JD Vance has been so much better than our previous vice president? You know what I'm saying? Front and center for this guy. In fact, our country needs more men like JD Vance more than ever. You know what I mean, guys? But still, JD Vance took time away from his busy day to deny the clip, especially since it's earned nearly 2 million views already, saying things like Elon Musk has the audacity to act like he's an elected official when JD Vance is the elected official. He is the important one in the situation, not Elon. Even worse, that if Elon Musk wants to tank the economy and his cars, maybe that's what he deserves. I mean, like what JD Vance said when he denied it, he's not surprised that this guy doesn't have the intelligence to recognize this fact, but he wonders if he has the integrity to delete it now that he knows that it's fake. If not, it could be defamation. I guess we'll find out, won't we? All you need to think about is how the quality of the audio is very poor and distorted. There's no source or context given to the audio, and no explanation as to why a random social media account would just so happen to have a controversial recording of the vice president speaking. Altogether, an incredibly unlikely situation. Also speaking out was JD Vance's communications director, William Martin, who echoed these sentiments, saying this audio is 100% fake and most certainly not the vice president. Plus, just look at where it's coming from. A random account, Jose Italia on TikTok, who also shares a whole lot of videos which have a critical tone of President Donald Trump, including one which was viewed over 2 million times, where people are filmed chanting "impeach Trump" and the video is captioned with the exact same phrase. I mean, seriously, guys, the Trump administration has no shortage of people who could be behind these fake audio leaks of Vice President JD Vance. Think about it. Just a few days ago, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett demanded that Elon Musk be taken down, that all she wants to see happen for her birthday is for Elon Musk to be taken down. And then now this pops up, right? I mean, really, the depths that these people will go, like there's no end. But it's also scary to think about how AI tools are getting this good already, more intelligent and more widely used. And with that, the rise of AI-generated video and audio misinformation is also beginning to escalate rapidly. Now, according to a report from Humanize AI, the development of AI deepfake tools surged by 44% in 2023, and it grew by 28% in 2024, with AI voice generators having the biggest website traffic, reaching 16.8 million visits. So I really wouldn't be surprised if next week they suddenly come up with an audio leak for President Trump saying something else, and then the whole of mainstream media makes a whole big deal out of it. So I don't know. And if ever JD Vance did this, he wouldn't be afraid to say it. He went on NBC to acknowledge the fact that Elon Musk has made mistakes during his mass firings of federal employees. He told the outlet that Elon Musk himself has said that sometimes you do something, you make a mistake, and then you undo the mistake. JD Vance even said that he's accepting of mistakes. That same month, the Washington Post reported that Elon Musk and JD Vance have their own friendship and are personally close, and that JD Vance has no issue with the attention that Elon Musk receives. Well, guys, the great wealth transfer is in full effect. Our freedoms are being stolen, guys. Credit card companies are out to get us. And if you don't understand the game, well, you end up getting played by the game. Now, if you're anything like me, guys, you know, you were probably out of shape, maybe in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and just feeling like the system is just completely taking advantage of you. I remember for a long time, I could rarely ever get any time to spend with my wife. And through trial and error and through a lot of pain, I figured out how to gain freedom and also lose a lot of weight and actually get in shape. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a game changer. To no longer be living paycheck to paycheck, figuring out how to get the credit cards to pay me, the power of a strong credit score. I pay thousands of dollars less per year for the same house as my neighbor, just because my credit is better than his is. And this is not to brag. I mean, but this is the truth. The banks are literally taking advantage of the poor. It's like the people who can least afford it, they're charging the poor what is like unofficially called a poor tax, or a tax on the poor. I mean, I'm now at a point where, you know, like, number one, I don't pay for credit cards. In fact, credit card companies pay me to use their cards. And I figured out how to build a lifestyle that is just ultimately very, very healthy. I lost a tremendous amount of weight and I put on a lot of muscle. But when I was struggling, I wish I knew people who knew these things. So anyway, I decided to create a community of like-minded people who are also interested, just like me, in living better. So if you guys want to join my community, it's called the Liberty Pursuit Network. It is brand new. Come on over. I'd love to have you guys and join like-minded people. Be positively motivated by others who are also on the same pursuit. So I'm going to leave a link for you guys so you can join me over on the Life Pursuit Network in the description down below this video. So check it out, guys, and let's not be a victim of this great wealth transfer that is taking place right now. I especially like what one ex-user said about it. To the person who made, "You are pathetic for posting such a lie. Wouldn't be surprised if someone else takes legal action." Again, guys, like Elon Musk said, lawsuit inbound, okay? And I just cannot wait to see these people face justice. What about you? Drop a quick yes in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys agree. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications for more content like this. All right, so let's continue with this one, shall we? Here's President Trump reacting to the Atlantic story about texted war plans. Classic. Watch.
Mr. President, your reaction to the story in the Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it. You're saying that they had what?
They were using Signal to coordinate on sensitive materials and
having to do with what? Having to do with what? What were they talking about?
With the Houthis.
The Houthis? You mean the attack on the Houthis?
Correct.
Well, it couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time.
So the Atlantic, which has posted false stories from this editor in the past, openly admitted the names on screen weren't the people writing the messages, wants us all to believe someone, quote unquote, accidentally texted him classified materials. Right. But hey, National Security Council spokesman Brian Hughes says the signal chain that included Goldberg, it seems to be an authentic message chain, and they are reviewing how an inadvertent number was somehow added to the chain. But did you hear what Trump said? Ultimately, it didn't matter because the attack on the Houthi terror group was successful and it was effective. But man, you wouldn't think it with the way that mainstream media is covering the story. Here's CNN talking about it. Watch.
This just in, editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg, says he was accidentally texted war plans.
Yeah, we literally just received this piece from The Atlantic, and in it, Goldberg writes, U.S. national security leaders included me in a group chat about upcoming military strikes in Yemen. I didn't think it could be real. Then the bombs started falling. CNN's Alex Marquardt joins us now live. And Alex, this piece came out literally in the last few minutes ago. I haven't been able to read through all of it, but this seems like something out of a farce, like out of a comedy.
It is just stunning on so many different levels. And I understand why Goldberg didn't believe it was real, because it is just shocking in several different ways. Goldberg was added to a Signal chat with some of the most senior national security members of the Trump administration. Signal is a messaging app that is encrypted, probably why these officials thought that they could have a discreet conversation on there. But on it, in this chat that Goldberg was a witness to, they talk about the planning for the recent bombing of the Houthis that started on March 15th. They talk about current intelligence assessments. There's a full-on debate among these officials about whether they should carry out this bombing of the Houthis. And these are conversations that could be in violation of the Espionage Act. Now, this group was started, it looks like, by the National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, who called it the Houthi PC Small Group. PC refers to Principals Committee. The principals in the administration are the senior most officials. And among that group of senior officials, you have the National Security Advisor, the Vice President, the Secretary of Defense and of State, the Director of National Intelligence, the CIA Director, Steve Witkoff, the Special Envoy, the Chief of Staff to President Trump, and the list goes on. There are 18 of them. So there's this debate over whether the U.S. should go through with this bombing of the Houthis. Vice President Vance is actually arguing against it, saying that just 3% of trade goes through the Red Sea, which is where the ships have been targeted by the Houthis. Ratcliffe, the CIA director, he chimes in with current intelligence assessments that may be related to intelligence operations that are ongoing. Goldberg does not print that because, of course, that, among so many other details in this, are so highly classified. Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, he chimes in saying that waiting a few weeks or a month wouldn't fundamentally change the calculus. And he notes, interestingly, that if this leaks, we look indecisive. Of course, it would eventually leak. Now, keep in mind, as they're having this discussion, Goldberg is watching all of this unfold, and he doesn't know, again, whether it's real, but he would quickly learn that it was. On the morning of March 15th, which is the day the bombings began, Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, posted a team update at 11:44 in the morning saying the bombings were about to start 2 hours later.
Now, seriously, they sounded like piranhas going after a piece of meat in the water, right? But really, as Hughes pointed out, The threat is a demonstration of the deep and thoughtful policy coordination between senior officials, plus that the ongoing success of the Houthi operation demonstrates that there were no threats to troops or national security. Top administration officials on the Signal chat included someone identified only as Mar, the same initials as Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Special Middle East Envoy Steve Witkoff, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, someone named SM, thought to be Deputy White House Chief of Staff for Policy Stephen Miller, and someone named TG, which Goldberg believed to be Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. JD Vance commented in the group that he was concerned that the public doesn't understand this or why it's necessary. But after deliberation from the group, JD Vance said that if Hegseth thinks that they should do it, let's go. He just hates bailing Europe out again. So really, what's the big deal? Then again, this is coming from the same journalists who claim that Trump falsely blamed rain for the last-minute decision to cancel a cemetery visit near Paris in 2018 by saying that the helicopter couldn't fly and that the Secret Service wouldn't drive him there. So yeah, I would definitely take the story with a grain of salt if I were you guys. But last but not least, there is of course Second Lady Usha Vance's visit to Greenland. Now she was pretty clear that this is a private cultural trip, but Greenland seems to think that it's an affront to their nation. So here, just watch the huge difference between the two reports.
I'm so excited to share that I'll be visiting Kalaalleq, Greenland, next weekend. I'm particularly thrilled to visit during our national dog sled race, which our country is proud to support as a sponsor. I've been reading all about it with my children, and I'm amazed by the incredible skill and teamwork that it takes to participate in this race. I'm also coming to celebrate the long history of mutual respect and cooperation between our nations, and to express hope that our relationship will only grow stronger in the coming years. I look forward to meeting many of you soon and to learning from you about your beautiful land, culture, and traditions. See you soon.
All right, and as you can see there on your screens, on Thursday, March 27th, 2025, Second Lady Usha Vance will travel to Greenland with her son and a United States delegation to visit historical sites, learn about Greenlandic heritage, and attend Greenland's national dog sled race. Vance will leave on Thursday and return Saturday, according to her office.
Okay, now here's the next one.
And let's turn to that because the Prime Minister of Greenland has condemned a planned visit to the island by the wife of the US Vice President and senior US politicians as, quote, a provocation. It comes after the Second Lady, Usha Vance, said she'd be travelling to the semi-autonomous Danish territory with a delegation to visit historic sites and attend the annual dog sled race. The White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz will also be on the trip and visit a US military base. President Trump has made the US annexation of Greenland a major talking point. Well, let's head to Washington and our North America correspondent Nomia Iqbal. And Nomia, I read out the quotes there from the Premier of Greenland, the Danish Foreign Minister, just in the last 10 minutes, has described this visit as inappropriate. In terms of the White House, what are they saying about the nature of this visit?
Well, first of all, the Second Lady, Usha Vance, even though it's a private visit, a private event, she's going with her son, she announced it on her official social media account. So it seems quite contradictory in that sense. I mean, she's not travelling with a press pool or anything like that. It is a private visit. In terms of the White House, let me just read to you what they have said. And this actually came from the National Security, the NSC spokesman, Brian Hughes, and he said that the US has a vested security interest in the Arctic region, and it should not be a surprise the National Security Advisor and the Secretary of Energy are visiting a US space base to get first-hand briefings from our service members on the ground.
You see what I tell you guys? Both Second Lady Usha Vance and the White House made it very clear. She will travel to Greenland with her son and a United States delegation to visit historical sites, learn about Greenlandic heritage, and attend the Avanada Kimisero, Greenland's national dog sled race. And it's not like this is anything new. The official trip without her hubby follows her solo trip to Italy earlier this month, which she helmed the US delegation to the Special Olympics World Winter Games. But nope. Greenland's Prime Minister, Mute Edge, described it as a dangerous and very aggressive provocation, that the only purpose is to show a demonstration of power to them, and the signal is not to be misunderstood. I mean, come on, a visit from the second lady is a show of force to these people? You gotta be kidding me, right? I mean, really, talk about making a storm in a teacup. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Is mainstream media making a big deal out of every little thing? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments, guys. Let's get a conversation going. More in-depth discussions just like this one in our recent videos. Be sure to check those out. Definitely appreciate you guys hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you next time.